Okay folks, that was a few snippets from Saxon playing the O2 Academy in Glasgow on Sunday the 9th of November on their Hellfire and Steel tour. So this video is my gig review from that show. So in it, I'll be talking you through the venue, the ticket price, I'll show you the merchandise that you could have bought, and then I'll also talk about the crowd and the set list. And then at the end, there's a wee bonus, I'll throw in some extended footage. So my name's Ricky, and welcome to my channel, Relive the Music. Okay, so thanks for joining me for another review video. So this was Saxon, as I say, playing the O2 Academy in Glasgow, and this was a celebration of their 45th anniversary of the Wheels of Steel album from 1980. So they were playing this in its entirety, and also the 2024 album Hellfire and Damnation. So the ticket price for this show was £47, and I actually bought the ticket on the day that they went on sale, which was like several months ago. Now, some of you will know from previous reviews that I do try and get the balcony booth standing area, but that wasn't available when I went to buy the tickets, so I didn't actually think that this show had maybe sold that well, and I thought that maybe those tickets might go on sale later on if sales pick up. So I was pleasantly surprised that when I got in at 8 o'clock, and this was a solo effort as Carol had pulled out on me late in the day with toothache, so I just drove down and I got in there at 8 o'clock, and boy, this was packed. So I couldn't believe the amount of people that were still going in when I was going in at 8 o'clock. And if you know the venue, you come in and the square bar upstairs, it was like jam-packed both sides. So I was kind of bottlenecked there and kind of stuck. And I was wanting to try and get down the front to hear some of the support act, which was Dirk Schneider. So he was a singer from the band Accept, and I'll be honest, I'm not too familiar with his work, but I heard about 5 or 6 of the songs and they sounded pretty good. So whilst I was stuck in this bottleneck upstairs, there was actually a guy came over by the name Stevie, and he said that he recognised me from the channel, and I had a nice wee chat with him. And he was at Iron Maiden show in 1993, which was my first ever gig, so that was really nice. So if you're there, Stevie, and I said I'd give you a mention, nice chatting to you. So I didn't actually manage to get my way down from this bottleneck until basically Dirk Schneider's set had finished. So I think he took to the stage at 7:45, and it was about 9:20 before he went off, and then I got down to the front left of the stage. And as I say, I did try to get balcony booth and it wasn't available, so I was pleasantly surprised when I turned round. The whole like upstairs was like totally packed. As I say, there was hardly any room. There was like a little bit more room down the front of the stage, so I managed to get a nice wee slot over by the fire exit bit, and you get a wee breeze from that as the stewards go in and out as well, so I had not a bad view. So I took a couple of pictures from the merchandise at the show of the Saxon t-shirts that you could buy, and they seemed to be priced at £35, and there was about 7 or 8 different ones, and some of them had the gig dates in the back and they did look pretty cool, but I've been buying too much lately, so I didn't personally buy one. So Saxon took to the stage just after 9:05, and they played until about 5 to 11. And we at the Glasgow show got 21 songs, so I think we actually got an extra song compared to some other venues. Certainly the earlier shows, when you look back, there was only 20 songs, and Biff did actually say, look, don't tell the Newcastle crowd you're getting an extra song, but I see they've been doing 21 songs since. But anyway, it was quite good the way that they did it. I think they had like 8 songs first of all, and then they did the Wheels of Steel album in the middle, so all 9 songs from that. And then they went off and they came back on and they did 4 more songs. Okay, so I'll be completely honest, as I am in all my reviews, so I don't proclaim to be the biggest Saxon fan, you know. I haven't listened to every album. I basically know like the greatest hits that they play, and that's what I enjoy. So I hadn't actually seen Saxon play live since he supported Judas Priest at the Hydro in March 2024, and prior to that it was at the Barrowlands in 2018, and the only other two occasions I saw them was when they were at Download in 2010 and 2012. So I wasn't that familiar with the opening song, which was the title track from last year's album, which was Hellfire and Damnation. And then he went through a couple other ones that I did know. So we got Power and the Glory and Never Surrender. And I couldn't help but thinking that was 2 Minutes to Midnight that was coming on when I heard both of those songs. Like, it sounds like really familiar. I tried to Google to see if like Maiden were inspired by it. I was ready to burst out into Kill for Game or Shoot to Maim, We Don't Need a Reason. It just sounded identical to Maiden's 2 Minutes to Midnight, but obviously Saxon did it first, so if anyone stole it, then it's Maiden that's stole it, but they probably were inspired by the sound of Saxon, given the age of the songs. So that was good. We get Power and the Glory, Sacrifice, Backs to the Wall, Never Surrender, and then one of the new ones, which I did like, and I've listened to it a couple of times since the gig, was Madame Guillotine. So I thought that was excellent, and there was a really good guitar solo like halfway through that song, and yeah, that was a kind of standout moment for me from this show, even though it's just one of the new songs. And then Heavy Metal Thunder, and then Dallas 1 PM. So then we had a wee break, and Biff was talking to the crowd, and then we went into the Wheels of Steel set. So that's got your Motorcycle Man, Stand Up and Be Counted, and then probably my favourite from this album, and the first Saxon song that I'd ever heard, was 747, Strangers in the Night. So the first time that I'd ever heard a Saxon song, it was on this old vinyl album which I've got called Live and Loud, and it was like 9 different bands on it, I think recorded at Donington. And Strangers in the Night was the first ever Saxon song that I'd heard, and then I bought a Greatest Hits album, and that's kind of how I get into them. So that for me was another highlight from the show. And then we got Wheels of Steel, Freeway Mad, See the Light Shining, Street Fighting Gang, Susie Hold On, and Machine Gun. So the band went off after that, and then they came back on to some of the sort of greatest hits that have been known by everyone. So you got the Denim and Leather, and then another wee speech from Biff to the crowd about how this song was written for Monsters of Rock as it was back in the day, and it's just a wee short number which is And the Band's Played On, so really enjoyed that one. And then we got the bonus song which was Strong Arm of the Law, and then they finished on Princess of the Night, which I did actually record the full song and I put it up on the channel, and I know some of you have probably seen it. So I thought the sound of the show was really good. I will admit I'd kept my earplugs in for all of the night, just pushed them in a wee bit because it did seem really loud when I took them out. But yeah, I thought the drums were good, and I thought the guitars were excellent. You know, some of the solos and some of the songs were brilliant. And also Biff as well, like, credit to him, considering he's had like surgery this year, and they did obviously postpone some shows, I think, in France and Spain and stuff like that, but they kept the UK dates. So he sounded really good. I mean, 74 years of age, like, still going strong. And yeah, I didn't really notice any drop off from 2024. So yeah, all credit to him, and I thought he performed well. Had a few wee bits in between as well. We spoke to the crowd, which was nice. I'm not quite sure what the deal is. He says that they were filming on the night, and they showed like the crowd, they showed everyone up in the balcony at points, and then down below said they were recording it, and he's saying he was going Facebook Live, and I did actually see on their page, you can see from the Facebook thing, they did go live. So I don't know if anyone knows what that's for, then let me know in the comments. I don't know if it's maybe part of an upcoming documentary or filming something for like an upcoming video, so I don't know, I'm in the dark about that. Okay, just a quick mention about the Glasgow crowd as well. I thought we were pretty good in terms of singing along to a lot of the songs, which was good, but also giving Biff his plays when he was speaking to the crowd in between songs. There was no real unnecessary shouting out from the crowd and being rude and you couldn't hear what he was saying, so I thought everyone was quite well behaved in that manner. And it was good. I'd probably say like 80 to 85% of this crowd was maybe male, and probably like 50 plus onwards in terms of age. So obviously given the age of the band and the albums, like that wasn't really any surprise, although it was nice to see like a few younger faces in the audience as well. I didn't actually really film anything from this. I had a wee short of Strangers in the Night, just a minute worth clip, and then the full Princess of the Night. But as I say, I will put some clips up, so I will take that from other people's footage, so I will try and credit you in my description at the end, and hopefully you don't mind me stealing your footage. Okay folks, so just summing up my final thoughts on this gig before I leave you. I was pleasantly surprised by this. This is one of those shows that had basically just crept up on me. You know, it wasn't one of these ones that I've been looking forward to for weeks and weeks, if I've been totally honest, not being the biggest Saxon fan. And then when Carol had pulled out on me a few hours beforehand, knowing it was a solo effort, I thought, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to drive to this. So yeah, pleasantly surprised by, you know, how busy it was, and with the atmosphere and me not really filming anything, I really enjoyed it. I thought the guitars and vocals and the crowd, just everything led to it being a really good gig, and yeah, one that I wasn't really expecting. I didn't expect to enjoy it that much, and I came home, Gillian could tell that I was buzzing from it, so that was good. So if you were there at this show, then let me know in the comments, you know, what stood out for you and your thoughts on it. Or if you saw them as part of this tour, or you're still going to see them, then, you know, let me know what show you're going to. And if you have enjoyed this review video, then it'd be great if you could do me a wee favour and hit the like button. And then I think there's also a thing called a hype button. I've no idea what that does. But yeah, also if you want to subscribe to my channel, I'll be doing like more review videos, so that would also help me out. And obviously I've got the mugs here as well. If you want to buy them, then that would be greatly appreciated. But until the next time, have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.